Do you crave exciting sports takes and news? Fed up with the same old boring voices you hear on the radio? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you just might be a TBloomaholic. Lucky for you, it's time for another episode of the TBloom Talk Show, the #1 sports podcast in the world. Settle in, my TBloomanites, because another episode starts right now. Live from TBloom headquarters, here's your host, TBloom.
I don't know what we did, man. I really don't. Boy, I'll let them know. Okay. All right, nation! Welcome back to the TBloom Talk Show. Today's the 85th episode of the TBloom Talk Show. So join us now, me, TBloom, my co-host Ronnie. Say hi, Ronnie. Oh yeah, he's feeling it. And this is my other co-host, Cactus Jack. Remember, he's a plant. He will not be saying anything. However, his presence is just as important as mine and Ronnie's. So let's get into this thing right now. Today is June 2nd. We're here in Washington State. It is 58 degrees and rainy. A perfect spring day for all you Washingtonians out there. Today is June 2nd, which means back in 1935, on this same day, Babe Ruth announced his retirement from the MLB at age 40. I mean, what a time it was to be alive back then. Babe Ruth, arguably the greatest to ever do it in the MLB. I know some of you nuanced MLB fans don't give him the credit he deserves, but nonetheless, he's still a legend, and I think that's cool that in 1935, on this same day, he retired. Shout out to Babe Ruth. On this episode of the TBloom Talk Show, we will be joined by none other than our former co-host, actually not even a former co-host, our other co-host, our first co-host, Sir Charles VIII. For the majority of the podcast, we will be going over last night's UFC 302, MLB, and also who do we think is the biggest sleeper in the NFL. But before we get into that, I want to touch on some comments people have made under my last podcast 3 days ago. All right, guys, so about 3 days ago, I had a couple comments underneath my episode 84 podcast, and it seemed like the person who commented it was a little frustrated, a little angry, upset, if you will. All of those things jumbled up. He just seemed, or they or her, I'm not sure, they just seemed a little disappointed with my podcast episode. And we're going to dive into the comments here in a second. But the person who commented, they go by the name Bipolar Tyrant Troller. So we know what bipolar means. Up and down, you never know how you're going to feel. Which is, not the best of scenarios for a person. And then you go to the next word, tyrant. Tyranny is not necessarily the greatest thing to strive for. I wouldn't want to label myself a tyrant, but hey, nonetheless, to each their own. And then troller. A bipolar tyrant troller. I mean, it just seems like this person may just be out of line. Not only out of line, out of whack. Right? Maybe a little mental disorder going on. I'm not sure. I'm just speculating. I'm just trying to gauge kind of their point of view coming into this this comment and then their reason why they gave this comment. Just trying to break it down. So let's get into the first comment they made. They said, "You really don't understand the UFC, do you?" And at first glance, I was just confused. What about the UFC do I not know about? In that episode, I made a couple claims, a couple statements, a couple opinions, if you will. But he never specified which one really bring him to the conclusion that I don't know what I'm talking about. Was it the fact that I said McGregor's going to lose to Michael Chandler at UFC 303? Did that disappoint you? Did that hurt your feelings a little bit? Are you a McGregor fan? I don't know. I bring these questions to you because you left so many questions open for, interpretation. So are you a McGregor fan? Did that hurt your feelings a little bit? Or was it the fact that I said McGregor should turn his sights to the BMF championship? Do you feel that that's not a good route for him to go? Do you think that he should still consider going or have aspirations for a weight division championship? It's kind of seeming like you might be a McGregor fan and I might have ruffled your feathers a little bit. That's fine. Or it could be the fact that you don't agree that the BMF has much value at all. Again, I'm not sure. You didn't leave me really anything to come back at you with there, but I'm just genuinely so curious on what you think I don't know about the UFC, or how much you think I'm not aware of how things work in the UFC. I'm so curious that I'm formally inviting you onto the show whenever you want, and we can discuss these opinions, and we can break down exactly what your gripe is with me and how I view the UFC. I'm so curious. It's a formal invitation, Bipolar Tyrant Troller. I'm welcoming you on to the show. We can do a virtual camera setting, and we can bounce ideas back and forth, point counterpoint, a civil discourse. Because I am genuinely curious on what it is that you think I don't know about the UFC. So that's the first comment. The second comment I want to go over was he put 1423, a point in the video of episode 84. Tito, is that you talking? Now, this is actually pretty clever. For those of you who don't know, I did a whole thing on Tito Ortiz stumbling and fumbling words, and he found a point in the video where I stumbled on some words. I'll give that one to you. That was very clever and very funny. It was probably the most clever, funniest thing you've ever commented ever, but if it's at my expense, I don't mind. I don't mind that it was at my expense. Good stuff for that. I'm willing to give credit where credit is due. That's a good comment right there. That's funny. Even though, is at my expense, I'm willing to bring that kind of feeling towards you, to feel accomplished there. Good shit for that. And the third comment I want to go over was, again, threw me off because I thought he was pissed off, or they were pissed off, whatever they may be. I thought they were pissed off because of what they said about me not knowing shit about the UFC. They go, #1 sports podcast, TBloom Talk Show, 167 subscribers. Yeah, that's true, man. 167 subscribers, #1 sports podcast in the world, TBloom Talk Show. We hold that title. 169 subscribers now. But thank you for reiterating it. Imagine when we get to 200 subscribers. And then 300 subscribers. And then 300,000 subscribers. We may be coming for the greatest podcast ever. So thank you for promoting the show. I appreciate that. Again, threw me off because you talked shit about me not knowing about the UFC, but then you go ahead and shout me out and promo me. That's the bipolar in you, probably. I'm not hating. That's the disorder you've already claimed for yourself. Bipolar Tyrant Troller. And again, a little confusing. And although you're mad and upset, I'm not so sure that you're not a subscriber yourself. Because here's the facts. The average view duration for that video, episode 84 of the TBloom Talk Show, was 2 minutes and 14 seconds. You've already stated here, with one of your other comments, you've watched at least 14 minutes of that podcast. That's 7 times more than the average view duration anybody else spends watching that podcast. And I don't know about you, because I don't know you. I just don't know you. But I know me, and I wouldn't spend 14 minutes watching someone that I'm not a fan of for anything. So the fact that you spent that much time listening to me and my opinions and voicing what I think to be true kind of proves to me that you might be a fan. You might be so much of a fan that you're willing to spend 14 minutes on little old TBloom talking about the UFC and sports. And for that, I appreciate you. Seriously, it means a lot. And you didn't even stop there. You went as far as to comment not 1, not 2, but 3 different times. I mean, dude, it means the world. Good or bad comments, I love them all. It gives me content, it gives me feedback, and it makes me better, and I appreciate it. But, I mean, you can't argue with the facts. 14 minutes watching a guy commenting on his videos 3 times. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I don't like someone, if I'm not interested in what a person's talking about, I wouldn't spend 14 minutes watching them, and I damn sure wouldn't comment 3 different things. So I have no other way of thinking than to think that the Bipolar Tyrant Troller is a fucking T-Bloominite, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Bipolar Tyrant Troller. Again, Welcome on the podcast anytime you want. We can argue about any kind of topic you want. It doesn't just have to be the UFC. It can be the NFL. It can be the NBA. It could be MLB. It could be about how bipolar tyrant troller isn't necessarily the best thing to be in life. But with that being said, thank you. I appreciate you. And I hope you take me up on that offer. All right. So going back even further, I had another comment underneath another one of my videos, and the video was Confessions of a Steeler Fan, Russell Wilson edition, where I went over how I came to a crossroads as a fan of having to embrace Russell Wilson onto the Pittsburgh Steelers and embrace him as a fan, even though his whole career I've genuinely wished upon his non-success. I wished that he would lose the majority of the games that he has played because he's a Seahawks fan and because of my relationship with the Seahawks fans growing up in Washington as a Steeler fan. So we got a comment underneath there, and it goes by the guy, I'm assuming, J Madsen 23. So a little bit more stable of a person, it seems like, than the last guy we just dealt with, or them or her. You caught that. Them, her, whoever they may be. J Madsen 23. Let's just break down what he said. He had a lot to say. 300-word thesis. Doesn't come easy. I wonder why you picked the Steelers living in Washington. Sounds like you're either following daddy or you were a bandwagon fan that just stuck it out until you called yourself a true Steeler fan. Let's take a stop right there. If you don't know the backstory of why I'm a fan, let me break it down for you right now. Real concise. My dad grew up in the 70s. There was no Seahawks. Obviously, you know, Seahawks weren't around until 74. My dad grew up before the Steelers even had one Super Bowl ring, and he chose the Steelers. And yes, he was 100% the reason why I'm a Steeler fan. But it gets even deeper than that. My dad's an adopted person. Okay? Didn't know his biological parents till about 15 years ago when he was 50-something years old or 40-something years old. They're from Illinois. They reconnect, and it turns out they're all Steeler fans too. So this isn't just me following lineage. This is in my blood, brother. This is in the blood. The Steelers run through my veins. I mean, every time I have bled in my entire life, I've always wondered, why does it come out black and yellow? Until I finally figured it out. My dad's long-lost family from Illinois, right? Chicago area. Well, not Chicago area, but the Chicago Bears area, or the St. Louis Rams, or, you know, Illinois, not necessarily going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler fan if you grow up in Illinois, found them, and they're all Steeler fans too. They also all drink Bud Light, which is, I guess, run through my veins well, but that's besides the point. So I wouldn't necessarily say it was because of following daddy, but it was following the bloodline. But I appreciate that input by you. Let's continue. Either way, I wonder if you picking the Steelers had anything to do with the rich history of winning. Like I said, my dad picked the Steelers before they had one Super Bowl, so it had nothing to do with that. Let's see, Steelers have been around since 1933, correct? I would imagine that in the first 20 years, maybe 30, there were a lot of fans that didn't really care when they were losing. Probably. And also to do with football, just really wasn't that big of a thing back then. So you kind of comparing apples to oranges there. I would imagine that in the first 20 years, maybe 30 years, we just went over that. Seahawks have only been around since 1974, and they don't have a rich history of winning. It has been the opposite, which has nothing to do with the fans. Ownership has a lot to do with losing. I agree with that. You guys have had terrible owners. But give us 90 years and a couple generations and 6 Super Bowl championships, I bet all we can get rid of any bandwagon fans as well. Let's break that down. You're right. The Seahawks were not a team until 1974. Pittsburgh came in 40 years before that. Very good. But let's break this down. In the Steelers' first 50 years as a franchise, they won 4 Super Bowls, or had 4 Super Bowls. In the Seahawks' first 50 years as a franchise, only 1 Super Bowl. So your whole thing about in 90 years, you guys reaching 6, slow down there, buddy. Let's get to 2 first, because you're on pace to not even have 2 by the time you hit 90 years, because it took you 50 years to get 1. So don't be reaching for 6 until you get to 2. There's a difference between having a ring and having rings. Let's try to add that S onto your ring before we jump to you getting 60. So you're not on pace to get 6. I don't think you guys ever will get 6 in 100 years. And let's go even further. The Super Bowl wasn't around until 1966. So we only had 17 cracks at winning the Super Bowl in our first 50 years. And we got 4 of them. You guys have had 50 chances. 50 chances at winning a Super Bowl. You've only had 1. I feel for you, man. Trust me, man. My mom, my brother, they're Seahawks fans too. It gets frustrating. I understand. I'm not trying to be a dick here. I'm just trying to break some news to you. And again, I appreciate you commenting, taking your time to write up a 300-word thesis for my show. I appreciate that. It gives me good content. And just like the last man, I am inviting you formally onto the talk show, and we can debate any topic you want. It'll be a fair setting. I promise. I'm willing to do that. Then he goes on and he writes another comment. 2 comments. 2 comments. By the way, enjoy our sloppy seconds in Russell Wilson. Damn it. We will. But it was not necessarily your sloppy seconds. It's Denver's sloppy seconds, your sloppy thirds. And you're damn right, we will enjoy your greatest quarterback of all time. We'll enjoy having him on the team for $1.21 million, the league minimum, buddy. We will, because that's how much the Seahawks' greatest quarterback ever is to the Pittsburgh Steelers. For you, enjoy your mediocre season. Doesn't look like things are going to get any better for you anytime soon. No franchise quarterback. Got Geno Smith. I do like Sam Howell, but again, Jay Madsen 23, I appreciate your comment. Hopefully we can have some civil discourse and come to some terms of understanding between each other. Again, welcoming you onto the show anytime you want, brother. Here we go. Welcome back, Sir Charles, to the TBloom Talk Show. It's been such a long time, my friend.
It's been a while. I was trying to think, and I couldn't recall when the last episode.
I believe it was
6
about
months, 8 months.
Yeah, I believe it was about week 12 of the NFL season last year, where things just kind of spiraled out of control. Corporate, their partners and stuff, they all got spiraled out of control. They had to cancel a lot of stuff. We were one of them.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, yeah, it happens. What you gonna do?
But nonetheless, we're too resilient to be gone for too long. We're here now. We're back. You're obviously in some goddamn Oriole gear. We'll get into that later.
Yep, no doubt.
But yeah, man, how's life been? Let's just touch base on that real quick.
It's been good. I mean, shit, I'm getting married here in, 70 days, I think. Coming down to the wire. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, good stuff. Life's been good, man. Life's been good. Can't complain. How about yourself?
Hasn't been too bad, my friend. I've been doing a lot of work, working in the mornings, doing some landscaping, going in at Home Depot at night, doing some delivery stuff. So been pretty busy, but keeping the nose on the grindstone, I suppose, my friend.
Hell yeah, got to get to it. Money makes the world go round. You know?
By the way, this is my first sip of coffee in about a month. So
no shit.
We're going to see how this goes.
Got some iced coffee right here. It's
you
one
of those
it's
guys?
Hot over here. It's 88 degrees out today. It's hot. When it's summer, yes, I drink my iced coffee. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
I was dying at the game yesterday. It was like 80 something out. I was right in the sun. I got tickets on the wrong side of the bleachers. I wasn't in the shade.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So is Maryland, is that more of a I don't want to seem like a fucking dad or whatever, but is that like a dry heat or a
No, it is 100% humid. I mean,
shit.
Oh yeah, it's sticky. It's sticky out here. 100%.
Well, fuck, dude. Good luck surviving that. Grab an AC. Do you have an AC unit?
Oh yeah, everywhere has AC built into the houses out here. It's not too bad. Yeah,
right
we're living good.
Right on. Yeah. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go snag my coffee. I'm gonna show you something real quick.
Sounds good.
This is a portable coffee maker. You ever seen one of these bad boys?
What the fuck is no? I have not.
You got your filter. I don't know if you got your filter in here. You put the coffee in here. You got your cup. Put it over the top.
No shit.
You put this bad boy on top of it. God, I wish you could see a little better. And then you just grab your hot water.
No kidding. Oh, that's badass.
Oh, fuck. It hurts. Ah, shit.
Oh, that bad. Yeah, that's probably hot.
Ow. Ow. Simple as that, guys.
That easy.
Simple
that
stuff.
easy. Oh, I used to have a little French press. It was like a 1 cup French press that you kind of do that shit with. But
Exactly.
yeah,
All
handy.
right. I don't have no towel around here. We use shirts around here in the T-Bloom Talk Show. Okay, anyway, let's get to it. Let's go over UFC 302, man. Did you watch the card?
I didn't. I fell asleep. I'm gonna be honest with you, but
Oh,
yeah, I didn't. It's late on the East Coast, man. Those fights
yeah,
couldn't make it. Couldn't make it.
they
Yeah,
don't help you
but
guys out at all with those fight times. That's for
they
sure.
don't. But I went over some highlights, and oh my, Kevin Holland snapped that man's arm like a fucking twig. Oh my God, that was gnarly. Love to see it.
That was, I mean, talk about a guy who just knows how to continuously keep himself relative.
Right? Yeah, no kidding, man. His name's always out there.
After that Michael Venom Page fight, I thought, man, is this the last we've seen of any good out of Kevin Holland? I mean, what else more can he bring to the table after losing to Michael Venom Page in such a fashion that he did? But for him to come out, get knocked down, but to win with an armbar, I mean, are you kidding me? That's just
didn't see that coming.
That's resiliency, man. Yeah, did not see that coming at all. I mean, I wonder what the odds on Kevin Holland winning by submission were.
Oh, I bet they were great. I wish. Yeah.
I was gonna take him.
Yeah.
I was. No, I was not.
I've been doing great on baseball, but I didn't do too good on the UFC card. That's for sure. But
yeah, baseball, me either. The only one I got was the Islam sub, but that barely happened.
Yeah.
Let's touch on the co-main event, which was Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa. Sean Strickland, dominating win, dude. Just absolutely overwhelmed Paulo Costa from start to finish with his pressure, his defense, and just his resiliency, man. I mean, that guy is a nut.
I saw a lot of people saying that was one of the worst scored fights they've ever seen afterwards. I saw a lot of that. So yeah, like I said, didn't see it unfortunately, but a lot of people were mad.
Yeah, because they gave it a split decision. Someone gave Paulo Costa 4 rounds somehow.
Yeah. No. Oh wow, I didn't realize it was that bad. 4 out of 5.
Fucking gave rounds, dude.
That's crazy.
It was very crazy. Yep. I couldn't. You should have seen Sean Strickland's eyes when they first they said first judge Strickland, second judge Paulo Costa, and he's looking around like, what the fuck? Just like the rest of us were.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, just absolutely. They got to do something about it. I mean, how can you have 2 out of 3 judges be so on the other side of one judge? Because every other judge said 4 to 5 rounds, easy for Strickland, but one judge gave it 4 rounds to Costa.
I feel like you see it once or twice a year. You see one fight where it's just like, what the hell? And everyone's talking about the judges.
Yeah.
What it is. You think it's the same one every time? I don't pay attention. It's so long between it happens. What if it's just one judge every 6 months? Just like, you know what? Fuck it.
You know, they got to be betting on the other guy. They're betting on the split decision. That's what they are.
You know what? Now there, you might have a theory there because you can make some good money on those split decisions.
Yeah, you got to fight. You're the judge. You're like, okay, this guy obviously won. I know they're definitely going to pick fucking Strickland. What if I just throw in a little Costa, put a little 500 on the split decision, make a little money?
What if right there as they're tallying it, he's like, what are the odds? Hold on, let me just.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Holy shit!
I think Costa had that one, guys.
That could very well be it. I want to dig into that. Dana White, you need to dig into that. Get the cameras. I mean, you need to be having eyes on these guys like a casino.
Let's be honest. This could be Dana White saying, "I bet the split decision. Fucking, you're gonna fucking put that as Costa. I don't want to see your shit."
And then he acts all upset about it.
Yep. Now, who would suspect him?
Speaking of Dana White, did you see what he had to say about John Jones?
I didn't. I did not. I've been out of touch.
Let me pull up. It was after it was a post-fight press conference where they do all like the fighters and stuff, interview or whatever.
Yeah.
And Dana White was up there. And he had this to say about John Jones. First of all, put it in context, he was speaking about Islam Makhachev's ranking in the pound-for-pound rankings. And let me go ahead and pull up the quote. He had some good stuff to say about it. I mean, where's it at? He said this. I think he's one of the greatest of all time, White said about Makhachev. I think he's incredible. I don't think he's pound for pound best fighter in the world, though. For anyone to call Islam the pound for pound best fighter in the world when John Jones is still fucking fighting is nuts. and shouldn't be ranking in the pound for pound at all or doing any of these fucking rankings ever if that's what you really think. John Jones has never lost a fight ever. He's fought all the baddest dudes in the world. And then when you think about what pound for pound rankings really mean, he moved up to a heavyweight and destroyed the best guy in the world. As long as John Jones is still fighting, active, and in the rankings, nobody else is pound for pound the best fighter in the world.
Wow. I mean, first of all, I don't remember Jones fighting Ngannou and destroying him. I don't remember that happening. So that's a shame. But I mean, strong words defending his guy. And I mean, there's layers to this. John Jones has been in the UFC for a long time. He has been a big part of their success for a very long time. I mean, I get it. Does he fight often anymore? God, no. No, he does not. But when he fights, he still wins. And I mean, with the track record, it's like Tom Brady when Mahomes was going crazy. Is Mahomes the best? It's hard to say while Brady's still in the league. It just is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit of that going on there. I get it. I don't. That's tough though. I mean, Islam right now is kind of just running away with whatever he wants, and looks pretty good out there. So that's a discussion for sure.
Yeah, I think that was more of a I don't know, maybe like a when you have a kid who you haven't necessarily been the nicest to, you guys have been kind of bickering back and forth, but you still want to show them you love them. You go out and you say something like that, maybe over-exaggerate something to kind of make him feel better. Because John Jones and Dana White haven't had the best relationship in terms of boss and coworker or, employee. So for him to come out and say this, maybe he's kind of buttering up John a little bit to maybe not retire after his fight against Stipe. You know what I mean?
That's true.
John Jones did have good words to say about it. I don't know. I thought he said it on Twitter. I can't really see. I don't know. John Jones responded pretty much saying, wow, that meant a lot to have your boss come out and say that about you. He respects Dana White's been around the game, yada, yada, yada. So a little bit of good graces between the two that we usually do not see at all between those two guys.
No, you don't hear them. No, I was going to say nice things about each other. It's usually a look when I fight, I'll show up, fight, let's do our thing, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight when I want to fight, and well, maybe that's hopeful. Maybe he'll stick around a little longer. I don't know. Part of me, it's like, John, you should probably retire. It's getting there because you're going to get to that point. I don't care how good you are.
Right.
If you don't retire, you go the Anderson Silva route, the Lyoto Machida, you know what I mean? Where you just, it gets ugly. So he's getting up there. I don't know. I think he's got a fight or two left.
That's what I was just going to say. I think best for his legacy, best case scenario. I mean, he's already got the greatest legacy of all time. But if he wants to make it as high as he possibly can, I think he goes out, he beats Stipe, and then he ends it with Aspinall. And then he rides off in the sunset. No one can say shit to him ever. No one can say shit to him now, but really no one can say shit to him even more if he goes out and does those two things, I think.
I think the Stipe one absolutely will happen. I feel like John Jones doesn't necessarily feel he needs to beat Aspinall because I don't think he feels that Aspinall's really proven he's on that level where, like, why are you still talking about me? Like, I get it, you're the young, but like, there's tiers to this, and there's certainly a tier gap, I think. So I would like to see that. I don't know, but I could see Jones being done after Stipe saying, I don't even need to fight you. I'm done. Yeah. And just walk away. But I think if there is one last fight, that's the one that makes sense.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see it. Hopefully it comes soon. There's no schedule for it, I don't think, right now, is there?
No, we just got McGregor. McGregor will be back here shortly.
Oh, yeah.
We're coming up on that guy. I never thought we'd see the day. I didn't think it'd happen.
Let's touch on this Islam versus Dustin Poirier fight a little bit. I just wanted to say, shout out to Dustin Poirier. This was a fight that I thought was going to be done in the second round. I thought it was going to be just like the Khabib one.
Yep.
He was just going to get out wrestled, eventually slip into a submission, and Islam would take him there. It looked like that was going to be the case in the first round. Islam had him down on the ground, had his back with the full body triangle on him, but somehow Justin survives, gets to the second round, and defends 3 takedowns, doesn't even get taken down in the second round. And then before you know it, we're in the fourth round, and Dustin Poirier is got a shot to win this. I don't think he's up in the scoreboards, but in terms of his defense, he's keeping Islam off of him, and he's keeping him in boxing. And if they can box, Dustin Poirier is a better boxer.
Definitely.
basically, I think Dustin Poirier way outlived my expectations. And even though he got subbed in the 5th, I mean, this guy fought his heart out and just impressed me even more than what he's already done throughout his career.
I get that. Like, I mean, I thought he had a chance. I thought Puncher's chance, of course, anyways. But like I said, I put a little bit of money on him. I mean, the odds were great. That's part of it. But I thought he had a chance to go out there, and I mean, he definitely had a better showing than anyone gave him credit for. I just wonder where he goes from here. You think, you know what I mean? Like, what now? You think it's kind of up in the air. You could walk away. No one will fault you for it. You could, but who do you fight next? That's what I don't.
Yeah, and he said a comment last night after his fight. He got pretty emotional about it. He said he knows that was probably the last chance he will have to fight for the light heavy or the lightweight belt. And
I think that's fair.
I think that's fair if he doesn't see himself fighting at least 3 fights. Because let's say he goes out and fights 2 fights. First of all, the next guy he gets paired up with, if he does not retire, it's going to be a high-level guy. It's not going to be some scrub where he's not going to get any credit for beating him. It's going to be probably some decent competition. So let's say he goes out and beats a guy like Fitzjayev, the guy who got injured or something like that.
Yeah.
Let's say he goes out and fights him, beats him, and then in his next fight, he goes out and beats the number 2 guy in the lightweight spot.
And then it makes sense for him to be back. He's got a route back, but I think does he want it? Like you said, with his comments there at the end, he might be thinking, this was my last real gear up. Go for it. Right. I mean, so I don't know. UFC's at an interesting spot right now for sure.
It really is. It's at a
tipping point
where
in a lot of divisions.
Yeah. There's no necessarily. We're on a point where like stars are coming down and stars are rising. There's no one that's just his peak. When Conor was at his peak, he was up here. Yep. He's not up there anymore. He's down here. And then you got kind of Sugar Sean kind of coming up. And we don't have necessarily that skyrocketed guy taking it to the next level right now. So it could really be anyone who does that.
Yeah. Well, they've been trying to push Sean, Sugar, obviously. I think that was the UFC's hope was.
Yeah.
But, it hasn't quite gone that way. But, give him a couple more. You'll see. But, I don't know. It's interesting. I wonder who will be next to really just take off and just be that. I mean, because Islam, no matter how good he is, he just doesn't have the fan support. He's not that guy. He's never going to be that guy.
Yeah.
So, I'd love I could see it to be Shane, but he's got to hold that belt for a while for that to be the case.
So who do you think would be Islam's next opponent? Who's coming up in the light? Let's take a look at the rankings here.
That's a good question. Who is who is he not? Who's he not taking out at that?
Let's see. Lightweight. So we got Arman, that dude Arman.
Yep.
You got to give it to him. Yeah. That'll be an interesting fight because I believe Arman's got some wrestling background in him.
That's right. After he beat Charles for sure. But you look at down the rankings after that. Who's next?
Charlie Olives.
Tough.
No.
Yeah,
Justin, no.
Poirier, no.
Gamrot, no. If Michael see, this is what I was saying on the last episode. I actually got some gripe from this. I pissed a lot of people off apparently on what I said about McGregor changing his sights to the BMF championship. Yeah. But if he beats Michael Chandler, he could very well be the next guy to fight Islam after he fights Arman.
If he wants it, absolutely. Who wouldn't? No, you want to fight Islam? Yes, I'll pave the road for this. You and Khabib is done, but you want to go fight Islam? We'll line that road in gold for you. Absolutely.
Because
that'd be fun to see.
It's not like he's skipping over anybody who hasn't had a shot within years.
No.
Charlie Olives, he's had many chances. Justin Gaethje, he's had his shot. Dustin Poirier, case in point last night. Gamrot.
Yeah, Dariush is. He'd have
some gripe. And if Michael Chandler on the opposite, if he beats Conor McGregor, I think he's going to beat Conor McGregor, then he could very well go for the lightweight belt too.
Yeah, that would be great. Oh God, I'd much rather see Conor. But there's definitely a case for that. It's just a wide open. There's room for someone to make a big climb up those rankings really fast and get up into the contention.
Absolutely. Maybe even Max Holloway. Who knows? This is
yeah.
We'll see.
He deserves it.
All right, I think that's enough for the UFC for now. You got anything else you want to throw in there?
No, I don't think so. Except for, I mean, the only thing, like I said, Connor, I wonder if what happened if he wins this. I think they'll do whatever they can to make him stick around because, God, he's already. How many sales do they have for that pay-per-view or something crazy?
I think
I
Dana
was to
White
say
said like
they're
12,
already,
12 million.
yeah,
Yeah.
just going crazy already, and it's not. We just had 302 yesterday,
Yeah.
so that's he's a box office draw still. That's for sure.
Yep. Let's go ahead and touch on some MLB. See you in the Orioles gear over there.
Yep. Oh yeah, God, it's
I
been a good
mean,
season.
looking at these standings, I'm
Fucking
seeing something
Yankees.
that I don't think I've seen forever in my entire lifetime, maybe in 2001, but the Mariners on top of their division in the beginning of June. Not to mention,
Yeah,
not
no,
only in
for
the
sure.
top of their division, but 6 games over 500 in the month of June. I mean, that hasn't
They
happened.
are winning the worst division in baseball. They are. The Astros are heating up, though. I'm telling you right now, the Astros were shit to start the season, and oh my God, they're coming around. Like they're up on the Twins right now.
You think
Fucking
so?
bastard, which I called. I think the Astros by end of July are back in the if they stay healthy, are back in the lead. Unless I mean the Mariners need a bat. I don't know. There's talk of Vlad Guerrero or Bo Bichette getting sent out of and the Mariners are on the top of the list of where they go, but they never brought in a bat for Felix. Let's see if they finally do it for these pitchers, because God, they need it. They have the most quality starts out of their pitching rotation out of anyone in baseball.
Hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They need hitting. Julio's been terrible. He's
Julio
really
had three
slow
went three
too.
for five the other night. He's not
He's
doing he's coming
he's fi
back.
he finally, yeah, but man, he's done this a couple times already in the last month where he has like a good game or two and then just tanks again. He's
Yeah.
killing me. But no, baseball's it's fun. There's like a big like five, I think, right now that really stand out.
Oh yeah.
Like Dodgers, Phillies, Yankees, Orioles, Guardians, and like I think you can throw Milwaukee in there if their pitching can stay together.
Hmm.
Um, I don't have any faith in the West. I mean, I know the Mariners are leading it right now, but that is that's a mess. I don't have
Yeah.
any faith. I would love to see like I said, I want to see Vlad get traded to the Mariners. I want to see it. Let's get Vlad Guerrero Jr. over there, give him some help. But
Yeah. Hopefully they do something. I mean, because you can't waste this pitching.
no, we've seen it before.
You
When I was a
can't.
kid in Seattle as a Mariners, when I used to be a Mariners fan for Felix, they did the same shit.
It's the
Great
same
pitching,
thing.
and it's just like, where's the bats? So yeah, it's tough. I mean, God, Yankees are doing crazy. Their pitching staff turned around. It's a bummer to see. Hate the Yankees, but
Yeah,
no,
the
baseball's
Yankees,
been
man,
fun.
they're always going to be that team that's good in the regular season and then fucking blow it in the
I don't,
postseason.
they were bad last year, but man, they revamped their pitching rotation and they're scary right now. They have the highest differential, I think, out of anyone, even over the Dodgers run differential, which
Mhm.
is no good. But yeah, no baseball. I've already been to 5 games this year, man.
Right
Got more
on.
tickets to go to too. But yeah, it's been fun. It's I don't know. I got the MLB TV subscription app. I've been watching everybody. Paul Skeens on the freaking Pirates. Get used to hearing his name. You're gonna hear about him in the top pitchers for the next 10 to 15 years if he stays healthy. He's
You
absolutely
Baltimore
nasty.
Oriole?
Huh?
Who is you?
No. Pittsburgh Pirate. Pittsburgh Pirate.
Oh, okay.
Yep. He's been good. He's just got called up a couple months ago.
So
But
on
yeah.
you said you've been making some money on some baseball. You've been making bets, obviously.
Oh God, yeah. Let's see. Yesterday I made $80 on the Orioles winning, and then I was one Bradish. I had the under 2.5 walks. He had three. The other five legs hit for another $80. That was a bummer. What else did I had? I had Cubs, Mariners, Yankees, and Dodgers winning last night. That hit. Twins to take a 2-run lead. That hit this morning. Gunnar Henderson home run hit today. He hit a
Wow.
leadoff home run for the yeah. Me and B have been cooking up, and we've been doing good. It's been a good little week or two,
Well, I
that's for
might need to
sure.
subscribe to your guys's
I was gonna say we got to get tuned back in,
the BNC betting package. Absolutely. I mean, a little
right?
TNC Road to 100 never hurt nobody.
I was gonna say it might be time to bring that back. I've been watching a shit ton of baseball this year too, though.
We can start up tomorrow if you'd like.
I'm down. Hell yeah, let's do it.
There you
Bring
have
it
it, folks.
back.
The TNC Road to
TNC,
100 starts back up tomorrow, June
we're
3rd.
back.
Don't miss out.
Ooh,
So
ooh,
when you've been doing
that's
these
exciting.
bets, you and B, you guys been bouncing ideas off each other? Have you been doing any
We
Lindsay picks? Have you looked into
Not
the
really. I haven't been looking at Lindsay or anyone else. I've just been watching a ton of baseball. Like I said, I could watch and listen to every game with the package I got. So I've just had baseball on in the background. I'm at work. If there's games on, I got it in the background. And no, me and B just been bouncing back and forth. And yeah, just kind of rocking with it, watching it.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, let's start that back up. And I'm gonna do some research tonight.
I'll do the same thing.
And get some stuff going. That's exciting news though, dude. I
For
mean,
sure. Yeah, it's fun. It's making it fun again. Football season, just betting wasn't fun during football season. Football season was rude.
it was
Yeah, it was just rude. I don't know what to say.
it
Especially
was
with that Super
mean.
Bowl. Lost a lot of money on that Super Bowl. That was a shame.
Well, you
Yeah,
lost a lot more than money on the Super
I
Bowl.
did. Yep, that was. I doubled down at halftime though, and I won't do that again.
Oh boy,
Won't do that again. Yep.
oh, man.
But yeah,
Well,
man, baseball. Unfortunately, I think it's gonna be a Phillies Yankees World Series at this rate, which is gross. But
no, dude, I'm going.
see.
It's gonna be Mariners. It's gonna be the Mariners, and I don't even know why I'm even thinking here. I don't know shit. Well, fucking, it's gonna be the Mariners, Padres.
You think so? Oh, the Padres have been coming around a little bit. I'll give them that. I think
Actually,
the
I'll go
Mariners
Dodgers. I'll go Dodgers. Mariners, Dodgers.
I could see that. Dodgers have been scary. But
Yeah,
man, I want to see the Mariners hold on to the lead, and they need it. They need to win the division again. Get them back. I want an Orioles Mariners playoff series. Can we get that going? I already went to see the Mariners once this year.
I don't
I
want to
sat
play
in a
you guys.
3 hour rain delay to watch that fucking game.
You sat at the stadium for 3
I
hours.
sat at the stadium, and you know what's cool is they gave us free vouchers. So I have free tickets to another game. I haven't used them yet for waiting through the rain delay, which is cool.
That's honestly pretty cool. I mean, the fact
I
that they
think
did that, yeah.
right, me and B, I think are going to use them for a doubleheader in July. There's a Blue Jays doubleheader. Get
Oh
in
hell
for the
yeah,
price of one, right?
hell yeah.
Take a day off work, go to the ballpark.
Can't
No
beat that.
complaints about that. No.
Cannot beat that at all. There's nothing like, even if you're not a baseball fan, being at the ballpark on. I like the prime time, especially here in Seattle. Right when it's about sunset, you get the nice
Yep.
little view on the water. It's a nice sunny day. It's just, wow. You got your garlic fries. You got your ballpark food.
Oh yeah. Yep. No, you got your
You're
crab dip
flowing.
hot dog. If you're in Maryland, crab dip covered hot dog, of course. But now the Camden Yards is cool too. They have a playground for the kids, so I can I show up early, let my kid run around on the playground,
There you
play,
go.
do that thing. Yep. It's a good time. It's a cool
Hell
place.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ballparks, man. There's nothing like it. There's
No.
nothing like it.
Get out there, even if you aren't into baseball. It's coming back around. Baseball's coming back. I'm telling you.
Hell yeah. Anything else you wanted to touch on in terms of MLB? Shohei Ohtani. What's up with him? Is he still like? Is the investigation still rolling? Or
Dude, I think it kind of last I heard is Ipe pled guilty and kind of passed the buck on to someone else. He said he passed all the money to. Said he stole the money from Shohei, sent it to this guy, and so he kind of cooperated, I guess you would say. And I haven't heard anything since then. But it sounds like Ohtani's gonna get away with this, which is crazy. Put Pete Rose in the fucking Hall of Fame. That's all I have to say. If you're gonna let Shohei get away with this, he bet on his own team. Damn it, Pete Rose bet on himself. He wasn't throwing games like Ohtani. You fucking come on. If you bet on yourself, that should be fine.
I think that should be fine. If you're betting on
if I
yourself,
want to bet home, I'm gonna hit a home run every game. Let me bet it. What the fuck's the problem? Yeah, I don't get it. If you're betting to win, there's no issues. But whatever. Yeah. It's fucking baseball.
Well, fucking hopefully he gets what's coming to him. I mean, it does seem very fishy that he just doesn't know nothing about it.
No.
I mean,
there's no way.
It just doesn't make sense, especially if you're making that much money. Why would you?
Is he? Unless he's that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know there's the dumb jock thing. Maybe he doesn't manage his money. Maybe he just goes, swipes his card, lives his life, plays baseball. I mean, there's athletes like that. I don't know if you've heard Nick Bosa talk, but I don't think I think he'd be at McDonald's if it wasn't for football. So you gotta just there's those guys out there. Yeah.
Fair point.
Yeah. So who knows? It's I don't know. I'm over Ohtani. Fuck that guy.
That fucking guy. All right. Guy. Let's I want to move on to obviously TNC. We're gonna talk about some NFL.
Yep.
I wanted to bring up I had a specific sleeper that I wanted to bring up. I don't know if you came up with any or anything like that, but I think this is a team who's been overlooked not only this year, but even coming into last year, and has a legitimate chance at actually winning a Super Bowl. That team is the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh,
I know that's a touchy subject for you, Niner fan and stuff like that.
Not even that. The first thing that pops in my mind is their defense.
I agree with that. But in today's game, an offensive-driven game, having a shaky defense isn't the worst thing you can have.
You're not wrong.
What I will say is what brings me to that point that they could win a Super Bowl and they're being slept on is they still have that Hall of Fame quarterback in Matthew Stafford who's seasoned, ready to go.
How old is he now?
Still see he has that fire in him. From the interviews that I've seen and his
reports. For sure. He wants to play. I mean, but how old is he? I mean, there's a point where your body doesn't let you play. He's got 37, 36. I mean, look at Rodgers though. Who knows? He's 36. Okay.
Stafford?
36.
36?
But 36? He just turned 36 4 months ago too. So he'll be 36 all season.
Okay, so I think old. This is probably like that. I think he's reaching that point, right?
Last couple years, he's had a hell of an injury history over his career too, honestly. He got his ass beat on the Lions for a lot of years.
Yeah, he did. He took a couple years off of him playing with the Lions.
Probably. Yeah. That'll do that to you. Look at Calvin Johnson and
Yeah. Assuming he comes back relatively the same. I don't think there's going to be much of a drop off. I mean,
his completion percentage was down last year, 62, down 6 points from the year before.
Besides that, my theory is they got a good enough offense to hang with anybody. Between Cooper Kupp, you got the second year with Puka. They just drafted a running back. I forget his name.
Corum, but he got Corum in there to pair with Kyron.
Yeah, exactly. And they got another speedster from Texas at receiver, but their whole draft was basically dedicated to the defensive side of the ball, which I like. They knew that they needed to fill holes. Aaron Donald retiring.
Yeah, that's rough.
They went all in on the defense on the draft, which is perfect because I think their offense is already set up perfectly. And let's not forget, they were this close to beating the Lions last year.
They were.
This close in the playoffs, and they were not supposed to be anything last year. This team wasn't even supposed to be close to the playoffs last year, especially with Cooper Kupp having the injuries that he had last year.
Most of the year was out, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that this team is being way overlooked. They can come in and let me look at their schedule. I probably should have did that before. Let's just go through their schedule real quick. Okay, come on. The Rams. Okay, so they open it up at Detroit. Okay. Arizona, San Francisco, Chicago, Green Bay, Las Vegas, Minnesota.
Oh man, they could be 2 and 3 real fast.
That's a pretty tough way to open it up. I will say that.
That's a tough start.
But then they finish their last 6 games. They got New Orleans, Buffalo, San Fran, New York, Arizona. Ooh, this could be a tough one.
I was gonna say that sounds like a fucking hell of a schedule.
It's gonna be tough.
It's a tough division. It's a tough division in general. That doesn't help.
Definitely. But I can see them making the playoffs. If they got to be a wild card team, sure, be a wild card team. I'm just saying, don't be surprised when the Rams are in the Super Bowl in the 2024 NFL season. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's God. If I have to go sleeper, I mean, this was a lot of things. The Texans on paper, I love bringing in Joe Mixon. If CJ Stroud continues that, I mean, the Texans look so young. That Stefon Diggs, are you kidding me? I mean, I don't know if you call them a sleeper after all the offseason moves, but they're super. I mean, definitely have some things to gel. But if that goes well, if Joe Mixon stays healthy, Diggs decides not to be a fucking prima donna all fucking season. I mean, that could be a team.
Yeah. I think it'd be hard to call them a sleeper, like you said,
10-7 last year for sure. They won their division, although not, dominant, but yeah. They definitely got plus 24 differential last season.
I'm definitely not happy about them getting Stefon Diggs and then Mixon on top of that.
Yeah.
Obviously, being an AFC guy, that's one more juggernaut of a team we have to worry about. But yeah, I mean, they're fucking primed and ready to go for a couple years, dude. Like
Yeah.
serious stuff. We'll see how CJ Stroud develops into a second year. He did struggle against Baltimore that last playoff game, but
Sophomore slumps are a thing too.
yeah, that's nothing to be too concerned about going into Baltimore in that environment in a playoff game. That's not
That's
an easy
that's
way to
a hell
play
of an
ball.
environment. That's allowed. That's in a game. That's a
You
place to.
exactly. You've
I've
probably
I've
seen.
been there. It's
Yeah.
yeah. That's a place. I mean, I watched the Seahawks get dismantled there last season. I mean, like 37-3, something
Yeah.
just gross. But then I don't know if you call them a sleeper because I don't think they'll make the playoffs. But I think the Commanders are going to be a lot better than people expect this year.
Really?
Um, Ben Sinnott, I really liked him as a tight end. I was trying to trade up in our fantasy fucking rookie draft for fucking like 2 rounds, trying to get his ass. No one would trade.
Hmm.
Bastards. But no, I like him. I know Terry McLaurin a little old. He's older than everyone thinks he is. Dotson still has some stuff. I mean, brought in McCaffrey. I like Jaden Daniels. I'm just terrified he's gonna get broken like RG3 with the way he's built, and then going to fucking Washington doesn't help.
Yeah.
But no, I'm excited. I mean, they're 45 minutes down the road. We're going to the Bears. The Bears are playing Commanders this year, so I'm taking B. That's his birthday present. We're gonna go see the number 1 versus number 2 overall picks.
Wow, that'll be
And
special.
that'll be fun for sure. So
Right on.
yeah, no, it should be a good time. But I think they're gonna do a little something. And I won't say that division's wide open because obviously you got Philly and Dallas at the top. But I mean, there's some movement in there. We'll see how
Yeah.
Philly is without Kelsey.
Right. That's going to be an
You
interesting
know, I
scenario.
don't.
How
Yeah.
is Philly going to be? I mean, they went way off the deep end last
Yep.
year. A
Yeah. I mean,
steep drop.
Barkley coming in, you should stabilize the run game for sure, but we'll see. I don't know. There's something fishy about the Eagles. I don't know if they just don't seem long term. Jalen Hurts, I know he's been good, but I still don't consider him up there in those top quarterbacks. And
Yeah. He's going to have
yeah,
to really prove it coming into this year because the way it all ended and how poetic of a way for it to end on a goddamn tush push getting stuffed.
right. And then Kelsey retires too. It's kind of just there's that mega woof like. And Kelsey said, I mean, he was a big part of it. He has that podcast with fucking Travis where I mean, he was like, that is the most brutal play on my body. He basically sacrificed his body every play to do that. Just
Yeah.
fucking pushing, right, letting him run him over. I mean,
Being on the bottom of the damn dog
yep,
pile with,
that's
yeah.
no one wants to be there. And now I don't know who they replaced him with, but I bet he's not a dog like Jason Kelsey.
Probably not. Probably not a Hall of Fame center like Jason
Right?
Kelsey.
It's hard to find.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Speaking of which, I wanted to go back. Let's go to Baltimore. Do you think? I mean, this is a season for Lamar where it's his career.
Yeah,
I don't. Not
I
his
think it
career
clicks.
depends on it, but his legacy depends on. Is he going to be a quarterback that was just good and exciting and was a great regular season, fun to watch, but really couldn't get it done and really wasn't a serious threat to win a Super Bowl, or is he going to fucking take
I
that
don't.
next step?
I don't know if this is the last year to prove that, but I do think they're gonna. I think the division's theirs again. I think the Bengals are at the bottom of the division again too. Honestly, neither wide receivers are in camp to start the division or start camp. That's not good. They both
Jamar
want
Chase
contracts.
isn't.
No, Chase and Higgins are both holding out right now, not in camp. Higgins hasn't even talked contracts in over a year. Higgins is pissed. I think they almost have to move him at this point. It's gotten, but I don't know. I think Pittsburgh's gonna be sneaky good with Russ, unfortunately, which is fucking a shame. And I think Cleveland's Deshaun Watson. But I think Ravens, Steelers, Cleveland, Bengals next year, unfortunately. But
So
no, I think the Ravens are gonna be I think they'll go to the playoffs and lose in the AFC
do you think Lamar will
championship.
take a better step, or what do you think he needs to do to take that other step?
I think if they go farther, I don't think it's him. I think it's the rest of the team kind of coming together around him. I think Lamar kind of is what he is. He's a very good football player. I'm fine with him being my quarterback. I don't think there's anything wrong with you building a team around him, but I don't know if he has that let's go win this on my arm. You know what I mean? I don't think he has that. And
Yeah, I think they really messed up with the game plan. I don't. Hopefully that wasn't the game plan. It looked like it
yeah,
was because the
that
guy
was
threw about 40 plus times a game, and that's not how you win with Lamar.
I watched that game with a bunch of Ravens fans too. That was not a fun yeah, that was an awkward not a
Were
good
they
time.
pissed?
But
Were they
no.
kind of saying,
Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, it was not well received.
yeah,
But no, I think if you get over that hump, it's Derrick Henry plays a big role. This running game really just pounds the shit out of people,
that's
and
going to be
it opens up
scary,
the
dude?
passing even more. Because if you can get more attention to the run game and you get the ball to Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews and fucking Isaiah Likely, and
Yeah,
there's some movement there. But I don't think Lamar takes that step. It's the rest of the team coming together around him. I think he is who he is at this point.
gotcha.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that's all I have to touch on for the NFL. Did you want to throw anything else in there?
Go Niners. Come on, Ricky Pearsall. Ayuk, sign a contract. You fucking son of a bitch. I don't want you to leave. Yeah, that's where we're at. Go Niners. Let's run it back.
All right. Well, I
Tired
appreciate
of
you
saying that.
joining us again, Sir Charles.
Absolutely.
This is episode 85, 15 away from the 100th. I definitely want you to be there.
Oh,
Sundays is
absolutely.
when we do it now, buddy. So, I mean,
So
I know you got
Sundays are
Sundays
usually
off.
fine with me. Like I said, wifey's working this Sunday, but that's a rarity. We're usually all at home Sundays. So yeah,
All
get at
right.
me. Yep.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us again, Sir Charles. I'll see you next Sunday.
Yeah, for
Have a
sure.
good one. I'll
Yep.
I'll say go Orioles for you today.
There we go. Love to see.
Yeah.
I'll say go M's. Yep. Let's smack the Angels.
Here we go. I like how
Yep.
we have some sort of camaraderie in
I
MLB. In the
I still
NFL,
like
I
the
can't.
Mariners.
I'm
Yeah,
not
the
throwing out go
NFL's
Niners.
chippy. I get that. But
You
I
know.
mean, Mariners are my second favorite team still. I mean, shit. But
Okay.
I just Orioles are one. Is what it
If
is.
you got any plays today, send them to me.
I don't. A lot of early games. Most of mine, but I'll let you know. We got a couple at 4 o'clock. I think that are tipping off. But and then
Okay.
I'll be in touch about TNC. We'll get on
Awesome.
that.
Thanks for joining us, Sir Charles. I'll see you next time.
Roger that. Later.